What's the difference between trade extraction, lithograph, and selling something as a whole? So I'm gonna explain you everything that I know, okay? The first thing before you do trade extraction, before you do this, right? When you do this, what happens is that if I take anything like this guy over here, it will actually consume one of a trade extraction stone, which you need to have, of course, which will then become extraction soul mirror turbine. Once you do that, it consumes the armor or the weapon, and you can sell that in the auction house. What you're selling is not the armor. What you're selling is the range endurance 40. If you see trades extraction. So if we go in the auction house, all right, what was the name again? Range. Was it soul mirror turbine? All right. So I'm gonna click soul. All right, this one over here. See, this is the one you want. And what did I have again? It was range endurance. So basically, you want to see how much it's worth. So if you extract the trait, you will get 10, which is not a lot, by the way, but it's better than nothing, right? So that's how much you can get. You're going to say, what about the lithograph? Lithograph doesn't work. So if I put this here, see, it's going to say you need a rare blank lithograph armor. This does not exist in this game right now. The devs removed that, so you cannot make it a rare lithograph soul mirror turbine, right? And the reasoning behind that is because of bots. In Korean server, a lot of bots were farming, you know, the mats to make blank lithograph, and because of that, the devs decided to not add this for the West server and the EU server as well, I believe. I'm not quite sure about EU. So that's the reason why you cannot do rare lithograph for any blue armor, gear, weapon, whatsoever. You can't. It just doesn't exist. All right. If you don't believe me, we can go as well in the auction house. Where is it? This guy. As you can see, rare lithograph, blue. Nobody's selling it. Nobody's selling the gear as well. You cannot sell blue gear and rare lithograph. And if you still don't believe me, let's go to miscellaneous lithograph. Put here rare. Boom. All the blue gear. If you look at the lithograph, nobody's selling it because you cannot do it. You cannot craft them. You understand? It doesn't exist for the West server, so you can't do anything that is blue gear. For example, let's take this Greatsword of the Banshee, which is a world drop that I got. If I go over here and if I click this guy, so it's going to cost me 25 trade extraction stone, and you will get hit chance as an extraction trait, right? You will consume the weapon and you will lose the weapon, but you will get the extraction. So now you're going to say, is it good? Well, let's double check that. So let's go in the auction house. Here, we're going to click all, first of all, or weapon, but I'm going to put all. I'm going to put Banshee. Whoops, sorry about that. I have to remove this, of course. Okay, so now you have two options, all right? The first one is the extraction. Now you're going to say 28 lucent. Is that a lot? Not really, but wait a second. 254 sell this. Click over here. Which one are we looking for? So if I go back to my Banshee sword over here, so the trait that I was talking about is hit chance. Come back over here. Come back over here. So a hit chance, how much is it worth? 263 lucent. So that's a lot. That's more than 28, that's for sure. If you get heavy attack chance, you can sell it for 489 lucent, which is even more. Right, so everybody's looking for this trait, by the way. This is the most popular trait right now. Okay, anyway, so that's the difference. And now if you go back, now you're gonna say, what about lithograph? All right, if I click over here and I click this guy again, now you're gonna need a precious blank lithograph. So this is a blank lithograph. It's a material that you acquire, that you need to craft in order to actually craft the lithograph. And by the way, for those people who don't understand what is a lithograph, it's kind of like a transfusion. It's like saying, I want the entire armor or the gear, I want the gear to now become some sort of document. That document will then be able to be sold in the auction house. Now you're going to say, then what happened if somebody buys it? Okay, very good question. Let's go over here. Go to the weapon shop over here. Get inside. So now we're going to look for the Banshee. What is it? Greatsword of the Banshee, which is anywhere? Oh, there it is. So here, you see, did you guys see this? Greatsword of the Banshee. Now, if you look at the bottom here, you need these mats in order to craft this sword, right? The same sword that I just destroyed to become a document. We need the document. So somebody will say, you know what? I don't want to do world boss. I don't want to farm an open world. I want the sword right now. I have all the materials over here, and all I need is the lithograph, the same one that you're selling. So if you go back in the auction house, click Banshee again. So if you're gonna sell this, you can sell it for 990 right now. It was at 1,000, so the highest price is 5,500. Lowest price is 990. What you need to understand, guys, there's a lot of people selling the same thing. So what you need to understand is that it's gonna sell for 3 days. I think it's 3 days, and in 3 days, if you don't sell, it will. I mean, it's not gonna sell. You're just gonna lose your registration fee, and that's it, right? Which is not a lot, by the way, but still, it depends. So what you want to do is, what people do is they're down bid. So basically, if somebody sells it for 1,000, the other guy is going to sell it for 990, and the other guy is going to sell it for 989, and then the other guy is going to sell it for, you know what, and it goes on and on and on. So it really depends on the demand. But again, 990 is more than the extraction, which was how much? 259. However, the difference with the extraction is, if you go back over here, the extraction over here, it only cost me 25 trade extraction stone, which is very easy to get. Well, easy, it's you know, depends. You can get it in the this place over here. You can go to the shop, and I think they sell over. I think they sell over here. So here they sell extraction stone if you have the currency, the Ornic coin, or you can even go to the battle pass, Zenith Star shop, go all the way down over here, and they have extraction points over here as well. Extraction stone, sorry. And there are other ways to get it as well. So anyway, so the point is that which one is better. So if you, for 25 trade extraction stone, you will get around 250 lucent. You're going to lose 75,000 solent, but you can make up to 256 lucent, I believe. Now, if you say, I want more, I want the other one, then you want to go over here, do this. You need to craft this guy over here, right? And to craft the precious blank lithograph, go to the shop, go down over here, well, to the place over here for the weapon, all right? And over here, it tells you what you need in order to craft this guy. So you need 10 precious rubrics, which is a lot. And this is hard to get, by the way, but you can buy it in the auction house if you have the lucent. You need this. You need precious mana steel, which I think I can craft. Let me double check. Yeah, I could do it. Or I can alternate item. Let me see. No, I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, I need to find a way to get that. You need enchanted ink, and you need precious parchment, 20 of them. So you see the amount of mass that you required in order to make this blank lithograph is a lot. But you get more. You will get more lucent if you do craft it. To get this guy over here, you will get more lucent out of it. So if I go to Banshee, so if I do this one, I will get as 990 lucent at least if I sell it, of course. Or if you prefer to have 258 lucent and only spend 25 trade stone. So it really depends on you what you want and how fast you want it. Me personally, if I was you, I would go for the lithograph because 990 is more. But before you even do it, I also recommend that you double check the other sword because other swords can sell for more than this. So if we go over here, if I click lithograph, so if you look at the weapon over here, so 1000, 1000, these are weapon, by the way. Is it weapon? Yeah, weapon 1100. 8,000. What is this? What the hell is this? Shock Commander Visor. So this is a helmet. 8,400. But this is for armor, by the way. All right. So if you want to do armor, then be my guest. Because if you get these drop, you can make, like, this one's 10,000 almost, which is a lot. Holy shit! Wait, what the hell? Helm of the Field General. Perception. Stun. Okay, yeah, that is good for greatsword. Alright, where do you get that? Let me see. I will look for it later. Anyway, it really depends what you're crafting, guys. So some weapon or armor are saturated. That's why they're not worth a lot. So you got to be careful when you spend your mats in order to do, you know, whenever you do a lithograph. You want to make sure you double check in the auction house which one is worth to craft. because when you spend your mass to craft the lithograph, it's gonna take you a long time before you can do another one. So see, this one is 14,000. Holy shit. Wow. There's only 5 of them, 14,000. Holy shit. So yeah, you want to come over here at lithograph, miscellaneous lithograph, and double check which one sells the most, and if you can acquire it before you even change it into a lithograph. Don't just say, oh, I got a weapon and I'm gonna turn it into a lithograph and it's only worth 454 lucent, and you'll be like, wow, you know, and then the next day you get this armor and it's worth 1,000. So you really have to wait and see if it's worth it or not. Some of them you can sell as a whole. So if you come to weapon, right, you're gonna see, like, see this guy, Cornelius Animated Edge, or even Chernobog Blades of Beheading. This is a world boss drop. How to acquire guild raid. So this is a guild raid, Chernobog. Riftstone. Hunting. That would be a world boss, I think. That would be a world boss. So there is a chance for you to get a drop, but when you get a drop from a world boss or even a riftstone or a guild raid, there is a chance that you cannot sell it as a whole, but there is a chance you can sell it as a whole. What I'm trying to say is that it's RNG. How does it work? I am not sure, but what I do know is that people tell me sometimes you can sell it, sometimes you cannot sell it as a whole item. As you can see, this one sells for 10,000. It is the whole item. This is not a lithograph, it is not an extraction, it is an entire item that you can sell. But again, it's RNG and it's just the way it is. From what I understand, people told me if you go to map over here, the one that you can sell are from conflict. So if you go to conflict over here, these drops over here have a high chance to be sellable in the auction house, if it drops, of course. But the thing is that it is contested and there's going to be like 200, 300 people trying to get, you know, to kill the boss, right? So it's going to be a big, so if you're not in a guild, you're going to have a hard time to get anything at all. You're going to get one-shot kill technically. You need to be in a guild, and your guild needs to overwhelm the others in order to get the boss and to get the chance to get the loot. And again, if you're in a guild, most likely the gear will go to the guild leader. So I don't know how the guild leader will give the loot, because sometimes guilds, they keep the loots for the guild and then they sell it, and then they share the profit with everybody else. Or sometimes they will say, you know what, if you get an epic drop, you keep it, right? So there are some guilds that will allow you to do that. There are some other guilds that's gonna say you can keep it if you want, but if you don't claim it in the first 5 minutes, we're gonna keep your loot. So you need to claim it for the first 5 minutes. It's kind of like a distribution mechanic for the guild. So you need to ask the guild leader, how do you distribute the loot if the loot drops? Do we keep it? Do you keep it? Do you sell it? Do you share the lucent? How does it work? So you have to ask the guild leader before you join the guild. Otherwise, if he keeps everything for himself, that is your fault, because he didn't ask the guild leader how he distribute the loot. You understand? That's why I don't do, you know, like, that's why I don't do conflict, because even if it drops, it goes to the guild, and then there's a big drama in the guild, like who's gonna keep the loot, who's gonna get the loot, etc., etc. You know, it's a big drama for nothing, guys. That's why I don't do these. Like, it's, to me, it's not worth it. But if you do this one over here, the one with peaceful, from what I understand, you cannot sell them. That's what I understand. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys can get a drop that can be sold. But however, I know that you can change it into a lithograph. I'm pretty sure you can. If you cannot, then I guess it's bind on equip. So over here, if I click Forsaken, as you can see, you can sell it as a whole. There you go. So there is a chance for you to get the drop that can be sellable as a whole, and it's 34,000. Holy shit. Holy shit. So if you get this, you are lucky. There's only 2 of them selling. Holy shit. That is sick, by the way. Otherwise, you can extract the trait, and again, oh my god, what the fuck? 60,000 for this shit? Debuff duration? Wow, that is insane. If somebody buys this, holy shit, bro. Yeah, debuff duration is very important, by the way, so it's very on demand. Otherwise, you can make a lithograph, and lithograph, the highest you can sell is 40,000. But again, there's like many people who did a lithograph, so you're going to be competing with everybody over here. So if you want to sell it now, I highly recommend you sell it at 5K. Otherwise, you can wait until nobody is selling it, and you can sell it at 40K. It's up to you. Or you can do like what he did over here. If you get the above duration, sell it at 59,000K and try to downbid him. Or if you get the cloak, sell it for 34.5K over here. Right? So it really depends on you. But again, like I said, guys, it's RNG. From what I understand, you could get it for sale, but sometimes it's not sellable. Some people told me that guild events, in guild events, you can sell it if it drops. Some people say when you craft it, there's a chance that you can sell it as well. So there's a lot of like information left and right, and I am not sure, to be honest with you, because me, I mostly do open world farming. I don't really do a lot of these these world boss. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't, but most of the time I get my gear from world boss. So if you look at all the drops that I have over here, it's all like open world farming. I don't do any dungeon or anything. I mean, I do public dungeon, but not co-op dungeon. These are all like world drops. And these one, I know I can actually turn into a lithograph. See? It tells you if you can turn it into a lithograph. Like open world drops, you can turn into a lithograph. You know what I mean? You don't make as much as the other drop, but you know, it's better than nothing. Alright. Also, before you extract the purple one, you gotta make sure that, you know, if you have something that you want to enhance. So let's say I have this guy over here. So you want to make sure that, you know, if you want to enhance this, like unlock a second trait, unlock a third trait, make sure that you do it. I mean, if you care about, you know, the gear that you have, and if you want to upgrade it, of course. Because if you sell it into a lithograph, it's finished, you will not get the trait anymore. But before you upgrade it, or before you unlock the second trait, you need to ask yourself, is this the gear that you want to have for the weaponry, like for the build that you have? Because maybe this is not the right gear that you want, so then you don't want to unlock the second or third trait. So you have to think about all that before you make those decisions. Or you can also use them to upgrade your gear. So if, let's say I have a gear like this guy over here, see, I could use this one to upgrade this, and I will have only 35%, and the reason is because it is not optimized. If this was at level 9, I would be able to get level 9, I believe. If I remember correctly, that's what I remember seeing that somewhere, that someone has a level 9 and then it became a level 9 when you transfer it. But then you would lose, of course, the weapon over here, so be careful with that. So that's the difference between extraction, lithograph, and selling the armor gear as a whole. I hope this was informative, and if you have any question, let me know in the comment section. I will try to answer them if I can. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Cheers.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room, and damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall. I'm falling fast, sitting here praying